Your parking routine may change in the coming weeks. The Transportation and Parking team is scheduled to zone this lot in front of Building 520. It's the third lot to be zoned. On average, 79 spots are unused per day. I spoke with the Transportation and Parking team's leader about the changes.
When the vendor came in and did analysis across the shipyard, the first thing they recognized that was being underutilized were the reserve lots and the garages.
The entire lot will change from reserved to Zone 3 and Zone 11 parking. Here is Zone 3. And here is Zone 11 for security vehicles and executive staff. You will see new handicap spaces. Visitor spaces will go to the small neighboring lot between 42nd Street and 43rd Street. This is the third lot to change to zone parking.
So we did a pilot over at 902 and 903 and found that to be successful. So this was the next zone that was deemed to have the best use of capacity.
The Transportation and Parking team will identify employees who use the lot and figure out the right capacity.
Company average is 10% outs. A lot of it's reserved parking and employees not giving their spaces when they're out of town. And this takes advantage of that, as well as gets the folks that are on the waiting list out of the aquas, the silvers, the blue, and open up more capacity for more shipbuilders.
Here is how you qualify.
It's not necessarily going to be by division, it's who works in the area. Right now we've got a wait list of about 30 people that qualify for a parking spot in this reserved lot. So what we're going to do is scrub the list that we currently have of who parks in this lot as well as the smaller lot adjacent to it. Take those employees, look at their titles, make sure they qualify, and reissue them to this zone. And then we'll look at the wait list and add those folks back to this zone as well.
Employees who qualify will receive a Zone 3 hang tag. Before zoning, the team looked into building a parking garage.
So the reason we typically don't look at building a garage is two reasons: logistics and cost. So when the vendor came in and did an analysis of the company, they did not recommend it due to those two reasons. Logistics, because they thought of us like a sports arena. When the 3:30 whistle blows, everybody leaves like they do a game, and the garages get gridlocked for hours. So they don't recommend it from a logistics standpoint, because then you're going to be stuck inside the garage for a long period of time. Cost. So I didn't recognize until I came to facilities, but the average cost to build a garage is $20,000 per space. So think of Building 520. Say you build a 1,000-car garage and you lose the 300 spaces at the bottom. You just spent $20 million for 700 parking spaces. And with how our ships move, you're still going to have shuttles and transportation from that garage. So you're going to spend $20 million plus an extra $1 million to move folks around on the shuttle program.
Small parking garages are still under consideration in other areas of the shipyard.
The Transportation and Parking team is evaluating parking garages. Not necessarily a large unit, but potentially a smaller one. Could we look at a one-decker or a two-decker that is cheaper, but it's also less of an issue for a logistics issue? That is something we're evaluating. And we're going to continue to evaluate that as we identify capacity needs and the transportation process in a whole.
The goal is to create zone parking across the shipyard. For Newport News Shipbuilding, I'm Lena Wallace.